in Seaside, Oregon today, and I decided to make this little film because I made a mistake and I want to share it with you. We're talking about budgeting and spending money and not spending too much. And lately we've been talking about discretionary spending a lot. And we've also talked about building up an emergency fund. And one of the things we haven't talked a lot about is, I'll say, irregular expected spending. And here's how I messed up and what you should do that I didn't do this time. We come to Seaside once a year for a basketball tournament. And I know we will come here once a year. We always do. And I did not plan for it. When it comes to spending, this is not an emergency. This is something we always do. It's not supposed to come out of the emergency savings. It's also not discretionary. This isn't food, gas, and entertainment, because we've been talking about how we want to plan for a specific number for that and hit that number. And this is one of those things that will completely blow up that number. It's not regular. It's expected. It's not an emergency. What do we do with it? Well, here's what I didn't do. I did not plan for this. And I have a line that I use to plan for this. We put this right in our spreadsheet. It's right here. Irregular expected expenses. And these are things exactly like this, like the totally predictable, totally regular annual trip to Seaside, where we're going to need a hotel. Probably going to go out for pizza. Fultano's, if you haven't been there, is fantastic, delicious. And we're going to spend, I don't know, $500 on the hotel, $600. I'll track it this year. We're going to spend $50, $60 at Fultano's, and we're going to need some gas, groceries, that kind of thing. That is completely predictable, completely expected, and I didn't plug it in this year. So what's going to happen? Well, we got to find a place for that money to come from. So here's the perfect spot for it. Irregular expected expenses. I'm going to take the amount that we spend in Seaside this year, and I will plug that in next year at around the same time, and I'm going to be able to prepare for it. And the idea is I'm going to plug in that number. It's going to come out of the checking account balance at that time. And there are two targets that we always want to keep around the same area. We want to keep our checking account balance at a specific amount, whatever that is. It's going to be different for you than me. We want to always be building up to make sure our checking balance doesn't waver from that. We always want to hit our discretionary spending target, whatever we set for ourselves for 2 weeks. And the idea with this irregular expected expenses is we want to plug in the numbers as accurately as possible so that we can build up our checking account to make sure that it stays the same and rebounds or is built up a little bit higher. And we know when this time comes around and it's time to spend some money on our Seaside basketball weekend, totally planned for. That's the idea. And this works for birthdays, holidays, any expense. I'll say your Amazon Prime subscription, right? $139 or so. It's going to hit once a year. You know it's coming. It's not an emergency. The idea is just that we're going to make sure that we are always scanning the horizon for those expenses. Once you're kind of in lockstep, you've got your regular discretionary spending. You're always hitting that 2-week number. You've got the checking account balance that you're always keeping around the same number. You got your emergency savings. You're keeping that around the same number. And then you plug in these irregular expected expenses so that you're protecting those other numbers, so that they're not fluctuating too much. And then what you're doing is constantly scanning ahead. What are the expenses that I know are going to happen this year? They happen every year, and I'm going to plug them in and just be ready for them. And the more refined you can get about those planned irregular expenses, the more you're going to protect those other balances, the better off you're going to be. That's today's message. I'll plan for this next year. You do a better job than me, and I'll see you on the next one. Also, if you want to go into more depth about the entire system in this spreadsheet, here's another video for you to check out.